So how do you think this works?
You record a podcast with that, just you, sometimes mom, mostly you though, and you just talk. I've listened to one full one.
Try to stay your mouth in front of the microphone. These are microphones are not expensive, so you have to talk directly in the microphone. It's okay to move around. Just
It's like you record. Like I've heard one of yours, the McGregor versus Cerrone,
yeah.
an hour and something 6 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just you talking. Like you basically talked about your workout schedule.
Yeah. Oh, is that what I was talking about?
Yeah, and then at the like 10 minutes, like the last 10 minutes, you talked about the fight like you predicted. And your prediction was half right. McGregor won, but not in the second or towards last round. He knocked out Cerrone.
Do you remember my prediction?
Yeah, you said Cerrone was gonna knock him out.
No.
No, you said McGregor was gonna knock Cerrone out, rather at the end of the first or the beginning of the second. But McGregor just knocked. He rocked him with the flying. What's it called? Shoulder.
No, I didn't fly it, but yeah, he with the shoulders.
He broke his nose, right?
I think he broke a bone in his face. I'm not sure. Well, maybe he broke his nose. Yeah, I don't remember. Have you ever listened to any other podcast?
I've listened to you hear about the.
Don't look at the camera.
I've listened to you. I've been listening. Like when I do my homework in my room, I hear you listening to Joe Rogan or the Stugats.
Oh, that's the Dan Le Batard show. That's
Dan
a
Le
sports one.
Batard.
What does he say?
Dan Le Batard. Stugats.
There's no swearing on the podcast.
You swear.
I do, but you're not supposed to. You swear at school?
Only if I get angry.
Angry at who?
Like if I'm like angry, if I get
Don't touch
angry, if I get angry at someone or I'm just angry, I just like say like, that and you.
Do you say it out loud so people can hear you?
Well, I mumble it. I'm like,
The F word, right?
yeah, mostly.
Yeah. Where do you hear that from?
Who do you think?
From me?
Yeah, and mom.
Mom too?
And a bunch of Eminem that I listen to.
Yeah, well, Eminem, right? That's your favorite guy right there?
Yep.
Yeah. How come? Don't breathe in the mic too loud. See, I'm teaching you if you think you're nervous or what?
No. It's just like I like he doesn't think if he sings. Like I can like take Drake. He thinks before he sings. I thought Logic didn't think before he sing, but then I listened to a few of his songs now, and like I realized that he like
Stop looking at the camera.
he like just like he doesn't care. He doesn't think about what he's gonna say next.
So by think, you feel like when he raps, he just it flows better.
Yeah,
because
like,
it's
I like the rappers that just like don't think of what they're gonna say. They just go blah, blah, blah.
Like, yeah, okay, like battle rap. Do you ever see battle raps on YouTube and stuff? Because I know you watch.
You showed me the last Eminem battle in 8 Mile on your phone.
Oh,
when we
yeah,
got home.
yeah.
We were talking about it in the car back from my grandparents. From Vauvau.
So you got a week off? No school, no homework?
No school, no homework.
What are you going to do?
Probably sit in my beanbag, play video games all week.
Tell me about this new Fortnite. I saw your new Fortnite. You're back playing on Fortnite, and I saw it's different. Why is it different?
Because like it's a like new chapter, new season.
So how often do they change seasons?
Every 6 months, I think. So,
Really?
like, they would
Okay.
go a few months. I'm not sure. Last time I checked, like it said like 6 months, and then last time I checked, it said 27 days. It goes by months. The most I've seen is 26 months. 26. 6, sorry.
6 months. So what's
So
different with the game this time?
Like there's updates. Like there's this place somewhere where it's not like players, but there's like people guarding a certain area that don't play. And that just pissed me off yesterday because I was playing and then
excuse me?
What?
Language.
Sorry. It just like got me upset because like it's not a player, and then this guy comes out of nowhere and kills me.
You get pretty mad when you play video games.
Yeah, because sometimes it's a stupid, or it's like dumb, or it's like someone like I kill, like I take shots at them and they have like 5-6 health out of 100, and it just like gets me mad because most of the times that's what happens. I take a lot of headshots, and then they just.
So headshots, they kill you pretty much instantly?
Yes, basically. The biggest headshot is... The gun's not in the game anymore, sadly. RIP. It does a 236 headshot.
Okay.
I've had it before.
That means it does 236 damage?
Yeah.
When you hit it?
Yeah, in the head. And the body, it takes like 100. Because together, if you have like health, it's 100, and then you can get up to 100 shield. So 100 plus 100 is 200, so you have 200 health in total. And the thing does like 270 and 230.
So one shot, even with your shield, you're dead. But you had to hit it to get the full. It depends where you get hit. Is that it? So if you get 217, it would be like if it's a headshot.
217's it would be a headshot if the numbers are highlighted in yellow. Like if it's a body shot, it's the number, but in like white. If it's a headshot, it's like in yellow.
So when the number flashes every time you hit, if it's
you
yellow,
you hit someone and it says how much damage you took off.
Okay, so what's the difference in color?
Like let's say I have a pistol and I shoot someone for 15 damage. It's gonna say 15 and it's gonna pop a 15 and then it's gonna like.
Okay.
Yeah, and if it's a headshot, it's yellow. I don't know why I'm saying that a lot, but yes, it is.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to know. So when it appears yellow, that means that's a headshot.
Yeah, and if it appears white, it's body shot or somewhere else.
Okay.
If it's like it can't be the head. Like it could be the arms, legs, feet. It's a body shot.
Do you like the new season of Fortnite? Or did you like the old version better? Because it's different than the first.
I like the old version better because like it was just like kids just playing. Who cares? It's just playing. Who cares?
Now is it harder now?
There's no like new things like. God, I have to go here. I have to go there. I have to go there. Because when they released Chapter 2, you have to go across the map and discover it. Like and in the old seasons, it was just like Fortnite has a storyline. Like 8, 9, and 10 were the storyline. 9 was the future. Then like there was this big fight with a monster and a robot.
Yeah.
And there was something like in the middle of the island, and the robot pulled it out, and it like irritated something. Remember when we got home for a baseball game?
Yeah.
And it was like, and I hopped on. I was playing. It was loading, and then it was like a black hole.
Yes, the black hole. That was after season 9.
Oh no, black hole was in. Yeah, that was after season 9 and season X10. Yeah.
Stop playing.
I believe yes. And
then that black hole, you guys couldn't play for like a week, right?
Yeah, because like. It was like a time warp. Like it brought the past back. Because like in season 2 there was like this big rocket, and they brought the rocket back and it collided with something and it just created a black hole.
Season 9 happens. Then when they bring it back after the black hole, it was different. It was different, right?
Season 10 was when the black hole happened, and then after the black hole, they released Chapter 2.
See, so Chapter 2 is different than Chapter 1.
Yeah.
The play and everything. You like Chapter 1 better?
Yeah, I like Chapter 1 because it was just like original.
Yeah.
It was fun. But I like this season better because like.
So now you're Chapter 2, Season 2? Okay.
And like you can find like the best guns. They took one of the best guns and they brought it down to blue. And I was like,
okay, wait a minute.
This thing's in blue now?
Wait. You got to explain to me the guns and the colors. Go.
So there was a suppressed scar. It was legendary or purple, and it still is. But they brought it down to a blue too. Same thing with the burst assault rifle. They took what's it called? From a purple and legendary, and orange, or to a blue, gray, green.
Okay, so different colors mean different.
Gray means it does less damage. Green, like each color does more damage.
So something that's legendary is the best guns?
Yeah, it's like does the most damage. Purple does the second most. Blue does, and it goes on.
Okay.
Gray does the least.
So they took some that were legendary, and now in season 2 they're not legendary anymore.
They still are, but they just brought this. Sometimes they're like blue. Like I played today, I got the burst assault rifle. It was green, blue, gray.
Really?
Instead of purple. Like for that gun, they don't have legendary or purple anymore.
Okay. Just to say, I'm gonna go close door. Mommy's here. Okay.
All right.
Can you go close?
Yeah. Sit back down.
So what other game you playing now? You playing UFC?
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of UFC lately. I got my butt beat by you yesterday.
Yeah.
I only won once, sadly. Yeah, it was really fun. But like, I get upset if I don't like I lost my title this morning and I was a bit upset.
Yeah. It's a fun game though.
It's a fun game, yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's a fun game.
But it's frustrating.
But it's frustrating when you lose because like you have a belt, you don't want to lose, and when you lose, you're like, argh.
When I was a kid, I used to play this game on Super Nintendo. It was called Street Fighter 2.
Oh, that game with what's his name? Zangief.
That's right. So I love that game, and I played it all the time. And the way it worked in those games is that you pick your guy, so you can pick between all the characters.
So it's basically like Super Smash Bros.
Something, yes, exactly. So I think it was 8, and then you had a special edition where you could where it was you had like maybe 10 characters. So you would pick your character, and then you'd have to beat all the other characters.
Oh.
And then if you beat all the other characters that are selectable, that are available for you to select, then you go to the 3 last boss. So there was one boss. I remember it was the boxer. It was Balrog. I forget his name. It's a weird name. It was a boxer. You beat him. Then you get to another guy that was called, I think it was Vega. And it was a guy with a mask.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And
those are the only 2 I know.
Yeah.
Zangief and Vega are the only 2 I know.
Then you had Sagat, which was a Muay Thai fighter. That guy was badass. He's like the guy with the eye patch. You ever see him?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy with the red bandana, the black hair, and he's like in a jiu-jitsu thing.
Oh, no, that's Ryu. That's Ryu. So, and then the last boss was Mr. Bison, Bison.
That's a weird name.
Bison. I love that game. But I was good enough. I would always pick the same guy.
Who?
Honda. He was he was a big
fighter.
He was a sumo wrestler.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I don't know.
And he was able to do this thing with his hand. You'd keep pressing one of the buttons really fast, and he would like do this thing. It was like a it was really fast and really high. So anybody that would jump,
like
it would
smash.
hit him. Yeah, but it would move he basically was moving his hand up and down, like fast. It was like a shield. Yeah, and then you would hit.
Oh,
and then
so
when
if
they
you
would
do that, like it's like you're controlling his arm. So if like they punch,
that's right. But it would only last for a few seconds, and then it would stop. So if you got it started, it would start, and then it would last for a few seconds. You didn't have to keep pressing the buttons.
Like you would do it, and then you would let go,
and then would it start go, and then you would do it for a few seconds, and then it would stop, and then you would go back.
I remember.
And then go.
I remember we had the old Nintendo over here.
Yeah.
And I used to play one game. I forget the game. It was like you're one guy fighting a bunch of other dudes, and like.
Oh, it was Mike Tyson. Was that the boxing one?
No, it wasn't the boxing. Oh yeah, I also played the boxing one, but I sucked. It was like the Street Fighter one. It's like a
it was Double Dragon.
Yes.
That guy that you're
one guy like that, and then you're like, there's a bunch of guys coming at you.
Then you kill them, and then the screen moves. It's so old.
Yeah, the screen moves.
Yeah.
I love those because they're like pixel and it's fun. Like you can see.
Is that that one with the helicopter, right? As you made your way up the building. Yeah, it's called Double Dragon 2, I think.
It was really fun though.
I used to, when I was a kid, I had the Nintendo. That game was on the Nintendo, and I had the machine at home. But
like the big machine, yeah.
Well, it was small. It was like a box. And I had a few games. But what I would do on weekends is that my mom would bring me to the video store. We had video stores in my day. Okay, so you would go to a
I
video store.
thought you only had that thing. That's it. Which a bunch of games, just like play this.
No,
Who gives a damn?
you could buy the games, or you could go rent the games at this store. They don't.
For
They
how
don't
long
have
would
store.
you rent them though?
2 days. You would keep
days?
them.
Oh.
So I would rent them like on the Friday night, and I would bring them back on Sunday.
But can you pay a certain amount to keep him for a longer amount, like a longer amount of time?
I think yeah.
Or, like,
well,
there's only one option.
you bring him back late, and then you pay a late fee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember you had to bring them back before 6. So like, say if I rented them Friday night,
You'd have to.
I'd had to bring them back by 6 on the Saturday night.
They
Do you
said
know
it
what I
was
mean?
2 days.
No, it's 2 days. Yeah, it's kind of 2 days because
So
I
like
could
one day and
because
then
if
like
I
the
rent
other,
if I went Saturday morning, right?
Yeah.
I could keep them till Sunday night at 6 p.m.
Oh, so it's
But the
okay.
reason why
get
I
it.
went on the Friday night is because I had school on the Friday, and everybody would go to their store. So if you didn't get to the store in time, all the good games and all the good movies
Would be
were all
done.
were all rented
all
out
rented.
because they had
Yeah.
they might have had this game that was new and very popular, and they only had like 4 or 5 copies. So once they rented out all the 5 copies on Friday night, then you had to wait till Saturday night, and a lot of the kids wouldn't bring it back on the Saturday night.
They
Would
playing,
keep
they
it
would
till
pay a late
Sunday,
fee.
and then they would bring it back and pay the late fee. So if you didn't get the good games on the Friday night, you were stuck renting all the bullshit game.
Yeah.
And the movies is the same thing. When I was a kid,
Really?
you had a VCR. It was a cassette.
Oh,
And then you
oh.
would go to the video store where they had the video. So on one section you had video games, and then on the other section you had the movies.
Yeah.
So you could rent the movies. So I would rent movies
What were
and
your
watch.
favorite
I would
movies?
rent wrestling. I would
Really?
go and I would rent the
Wait,
whole
isn't that like
the
a
old.
show? Isn't that like a show?
What do you mean?
Like movie? Like
No,
isn't
I would
wrestling a
rent.
show?
I would rent the pay-per-view. Back in
Oh,
the
the
day,
pay-per-views.
back in the day, there wasn't pay-per-view. There was a different system. So for the people that didn't have access to that system, or didn't have parents that wanted to pay for the pay-per-view or whatever that was called, you would wait till it would come out on VHS. So, for example, WrestleMania 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they would all happen, and then a few months later, I don't remember how long after, but there would always come out. So I remember the first wrestling tape that I rented
Which one
was
was it?
WrestleMania 3.
Oh, that's the one
That
where you had it's like that. It's that picture of Macho Man landing the elbow.
on the Ricky Steamboat, yes.
Yeah, he's like this in the air.
Yeah,
He
that was
got
the
so
first
much
match I
hype.
remember,
so much
and that
hype.
made me fall in love with wrestling. Because when my mom would
John
bring me to the
Cena.
video store, I would rent like funny movies. And then one day, I was 7 years old, and then I saw this section that had all the wrestling events, all the wrestling tapes, all on one section. And then I started taking, and then after that, it's all I rented. And then I would go and I'd rent when I wanted to rent. Same thing with video games. So like if I had to come home from school on Friday, wait for either my grandfather to come or my grandmother to get home from
Didn't
work.
you have a biking and you can just ride there
I
by
could,
yourself?
but sometimes I didn't have money.
Oh.
So I had to wait for my grandmother
Oh,
to get
that
home.
sucks.
Or I had to wait for my mom to finish work and come get me. And then she would bring me to the video store.
I have a life hack. You could just take some money from your grandparents' purse.
Yeah, you don't do
leave
that
it
without
in your
a-
room. Go to
Okay.
school, take the money, and then go by yourself to the Videotron store and rent whatever you want.
I guess I wasn't that smart back then. I don't know why I didn't think that. It's because half the time your parents didn't want to bring you and they didn't want to give you money for your video. So you had to beg and you had to, please, can you come rent me just one game? And then
I've
you
been
get there. And then you get there. Don't
And
touch the
then
microphone.
And then they're all sold out. Yeah.
Or you would get there and you would get more than one. I'd always get I'd always get 2 or 3 games.
Oh, cool.
And if I rented movies, I would always get 2 or 3 movies.
I'm just imagining you going to the EB game store in Place Vertu, just buying those games in the olden days.
Yeah. But you couldn't read.
Because it's the only video game store that I can imagine.
But there wasn't. Here's the thing. The video store. Now you go in a store like that and all the games are for sale, right? Because no one rents the game.
Yeah,
They
you
just
can
buy
keep
the
them, yeah.
games. Back in the day, the only time you could really buy the games was at the video store, and they're all used. They were like, and it was all the old games that nobody rented anymore. So all the new games,
Were those fun though?
all the
Like, at
new
home?
games, if you wanted them, you had to order. I would order the games new if my mom would buy it for me in the Sears catalog, and it would mostly be like at Christmas. You didn't live through that, but when I was a kid, you'd have just before Christmas, you would get these catalogs at home. One was the Sears catalog, and it was the Christmas edition, and then you would get, and then the end of the book was all Christmas stuff. And then you would go, and there was a section that had video games and games and the consoles. And then you would buy it. And then if you had games, you would order it in a magazine. So you would order it from this catalog, and then you would fill it out, the paperwork, and then you'd wait a few days or a few weeks until they mail it to you.
So they mail it. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. I didn't have a place where I could just go. See, in my hometown, there was no like big store.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Right?
Like,
so there wasn't any stores that sold these games new. So it's either you buy them at the video store used, and they're not fun anymore, or you get your mom to order them in a Sears, or there was another one, I forget what it was, but there was another of those types of catalog. It wasn't like Netflix and all that stuff didn't exist. So when I wanted to watch movies,
you go to the
I
game
had
store
to go into, or if there was a movie on TV, I couldn't record it. So I'd had to sit in front of my TV Friday night. If there was a movie I knew that was coming on Friday night at 8, I had to sit in front of my TV at 8 and watch the movie with all the commercials. That was it.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, it sucks.
You like now you can just record it and then just skip through the commercials.
Like you do all the time.
Yeah, because I hate commercials. Like, who invented commercials? Just let the show run and then play commercials after.
I agree, but then they have commercials so they can sell their products.
But they could just do that at the end. It's gonna be the same thing.
No, people wouldn't pay attention. Because once the show is done, they turn their TV off. They have to put it in the middle so that people.
Yeah, if the show's 4 hours long, make the show run 2 hours with no commercials, and then have just a little 30-minute of commercials, and then the other 2 hours you get to watch the rest of the thing.
What?
If the show is 4 hours long,
I know what you mean.
2 hours, and yeah.
You in the middle, you mean?
Yeah, and
but then people would know. Because then people would be like, I haven't gotten up in an hour.
Kind of like a halftime show.
I have to go to the bathroom, or I got to go get a snack. It's like when you're watching a TV show on TV that's 30 minutes, the show is really only 22 minutes because there's 8 minutes of commercial. Right? So now on Netflix, you can watch any show. With no almost any show with no commercial.
I watched Teen Titans on the thing. It plays 2 things, and then it ends. Yeah,
and then you get another episode, and then that's it.
Another 2 episodes, and then it stops. Get another 2.
Yeah. Do you know how? Look, you have life a lot easier than I had, and then your kids are gonna have life even easier than they had, and then so on. So cars. Do you know when I was a kid and I watched this movie called Back to the Future 2? Oh. It came out in 1997. 2. I think. No. Wait.
I'm going to guess 1997.
Wow. It's one of my favorite movies, and I don't know.
I'm going to say it came out in 1997.
No, that I know.
I'm calling it.
It's wrong.
Oh. You say it's wrong, next thing it's right.
Came out, man, I should know this. 1989, okay? 1989. And in this movie, they had flying cars. Because in this movie, they go in the future. They go in the future to the year 2015, which you were 6 years old.
That's when Ava was born.
Yes. 2015. No, she was born in 2014. Oh. But so a year. And in that movie, in the year 2015, they had flying cars.
Flying cars.
We don't have flying cars yet.
Yeah.
Why would you? It's not a good idea to have flying cars.
Why not?
Dude.
You can't like fly, just like little hovering cars. It's basically now with no wheels and just it's like hovering and then, flying through like
We
like
barely have self-driving cars now. We're not gonna get flying cars. People would be stupid flying. Like, you wouldn't trust people with flying cars.
why not though?
Why not?
It's basically
They
like
could
a plane.
barely drive. Yeah, okay, but now you need a plane license. Do you know how hard it is to get a plane license?
No, but I know a couple of guys that have dads with plane license.
Yeah, and it takes a long time, and it costs a lot of money.
Go
All
to
of a sudden, you're gonna buy a
college, all that
car
stuff.
that can turn into a plane, but you never driven a plane before. Do you know how much different it is to ride a plane?
You're gonna crash in the first 5 minutes.
Probably. So you know how many people
Even shorter.
would die instantly within the first?
Probably more than half of this world.
No, not that bad. Because not everybody can afford a flying car if they came out with
Flying
it. They wouldn't cheat,
cars.
right?
I saw this thing on the internet. Like each time I hear flying cars, I'm gonna be like flying cars in like a British accent.
British what?
British accent. Flying
Accents.
cars. Let's talk about football.
You want to talk about football?
Yeah, like how's the season going?
What football? The XFL?
NFL.
It's
Like,
finished, the NFL.
I know, but I want to like recap the season, even though I started watching it like towards the end of the season.
You didn't even... Okay, I want to understand this. So you just started liking football this season.
Yeah.
Why? What do you like about football?
I don't know. I just like the sport in general. It looks fun. And
You've been
it's
asking
fun
me to
watch.
play football. You said you want to play football.
Yeah, I really want to.
That means if you play football, you couldn't play baseball because it's almost at the same time. So you have to pick. You'd have to try it out one summer and not play baseball.
Like I want to try football, like, but it's because like if I give up baseball, the next year I'm gonna be complete.
Well, no, I mean
Dog.
you could still.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I can still train while I have the football, but it's gonna be hard.
well, you can still, yeah,
I can still go to
still find
batting
some
cages on
time.
nights.
I'm just saying, it's the schedule is at the same time.
I think I might do this, like play football this year.
No, this year
Oh, no, wait,
you're
I have
already signed
double
up for
I
baseball.
have double A.
Yeah, and you have the
So
double A
like
tryouts.
next year, like try football, and then like in between that, whenever we have time and there's no like practice or game, I just go to batting cages and.
Yeah, but what happens if you try football and you decide that that's what you want to do instead of baseball?
It'd be hard, but I probably would give up baseball and just start playing football. I'm not saying I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. What is it about football that you like?
I don't know. I just like the sport in general. I don't know why I like it. I just like the sport in general. I like the way like. I love roughhousing. That's why. And like
I'm sorry, roughhousing?
Yeah, like when I see those people roughhousing in the game, I'm like, oh.
Like, what do you mean by that? Like when they're all like,
Yeah,
when they
like
hit each other and
the
like
body, like you're gonna
talking
stick
trash
hits,
and stuff.
Talking trash.
Yeah.
Stick hits.
Whoa. Well, stick hits. Okay. Those
Go
type of hits.
flying.
So, do you
Imagine
think?
what's his name? Who's the biggest guy in the league?
I don't know.
Imagine that biggest guy stick hitting. What's his name? He's 16 for Seattle.
A wide receiver?
Yeah, he's the wide receiver.
Lockett?
Yeah, Tyler Lockett. You go flying. Like you do 3 backflips in 5 seconds.
So that's what you like about it.
Yeah, I just like the roughhousing and I like the sport, how it's played.
Do you?
And like the celebrations are amazing. I've seen some good ones.
How about like what position you think you would want to play?
I think I'd be good QB or a receiver. Because those are the 2 things I do mostly in baseball. I catch and I throw.
Oh yes, of course, but you understand football is a lot different, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but I think I'm gonna go receiver because like I've tried throwing a football and it's hard.
I like a full size football.
Yeah. And it's
Tyler Lockett is 14, number 14.
Oh, number 14. Sorry.
Who's number 16?
Then I'm talking about.
Oh no,
Metcalf.
you're right. Sorry.
Oh, Metcalf is
No,
14.
it's
Metcalf.
him. No. You're right.
Metcalf
I don't know why I
is
saw 14. So receiver, right? Well,
Yeah,
I've
because
I've
I think-
I've thrown you the ball, but we haven't played with a full size ball.
No, there's the remember that gray and it's like
Oh
the,
yeah, I did buy you one. Did I buy you one?
yeah, you did the gray, the big. Remember I went jumping and then the other day you just went across the street.
But where
and then,
is it?
And then I don't know, somewhere in my thing over there. I think. I don't know where it is. Oh, I think mommy took it. I think mom took it and put it down in the garage. I'm not sure.
Really?
My bike's down there. It needs to. I have a flat tire.
You gotta talk closer to the
Oh,
microphone.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting.
Because I think like if I have the right equipment and like good gloves, I think I can grapple the ball well.
But you know you have to wear like a lot of equipment in football.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
different, right?
I saw Peter's brother. He plays hockey, and I was like, dude, do you play football? Because like you put on all
it's
that
very
freaking
similar.
stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of equipment to be put, especially in football, because a lot.
You have to put
And you
like,
get
shin
hit.
pads,
Yeah.
helmets, like things on the street. Yeah, what are those things that you put on?
It's like shoulder pads.
Oh, you have to put
Same thing in
elbow
hockey.
pads, helmets, stuff on your head to protect your head from the helmet.
You think you take a big hit and then get right back up after?
I've taken some big hits at school, dude. I took this big hit from a kid, and I just got back up. Like, like
Playing what? Football?
Oh no, he was playing soccer, and I was playing with Adam, and he ran for the ball, and I was passing through, and he just like body checks you in my shoulder. I stay down for like 2 seconds, and it hurts my shoulder for a bit, and then like I get back up, and I'm fine.
You're fine. You're a tough guy.
I think maybe I can take a big hit. I'm not sure.
Really, huh? Football. Caden, the football player.
I think I have a 55% chance.
Look at you. 55%.
I think I have a 55% chance of getting up after a big hit, maybe.
That's not a lot. It
know,
has to be
I
more than
know.
95. Because you're going to get hit a lot.
95.9% chance.
Stop looking at the camera.
95.9% chance of getting back up after a big hit.
You're crazy. You excited for baseball season to start soon? You got AA tryouts in
You said they're
about
mostly
2
looking
weeks.
at pitching, right?
I've been told that the pitching is what they're going to be looking for.
Yeah,
Good
because
pitching,
good
hard pitching.
Yeah, we practiced today, and
Yeah.
I don't even I didn't even throw my hardest, and I was throwing in pretty hard.
Yeah. The batting is
The
you're getting
batting's
a lot
coming
better.
along well, yeah.
Yeah, but
We
they're
need to start
looking.
working on my catching too. We haven't worked on that in a while.
Yeah, but I think next week Mom is going to try to take you to the Sandlot.
Yeah, she's been saying that for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna sign you up at the Sandlot
because
for
you have a
pitching
lot of
stuff.
stuff. You have a lot of stuff during the week, right? You have track and field.
Yeah, track and field. Once a week, I
Yeah.
have what's it?
Twice a
called?
week, track and field.
Once a week. Yeah, twice a week. Saturday and Tuesday.
Tuesdays, and then you got tutoring, but now
I got
tutoring's on Saturday.
Yeah, tutoring's on Saturday. I don't have it next week either because it's March break.
Yeah, so it only starts the following week.
Yeah, it starts the following week.
Okay.
And it's better because like I can do my homework, and I like the Wednesday next, like I don't have to like struggle. Like I don't have to get back home from track, shower, then do my homework till like 9:30. Like it's gonna be too much. But now that like now that she's the vice principal, she's working 5 times a week.
Yeah, so tutoring now has got to be
like
on Saturday.
6:30. So, but at least it gives me time to do my homework. So I'm not always like, oh, I have to do this at 9 o'clock, and I'm like worrying all night.
Nah, don't worry about it.
So yeah.
Why you keep staring at the camera?
I'm not. I'm looking at your board.
Yeah, I got to change it. So baseball, AA. You excited, nervous about AA?
A bit. Like I'm nervous and I'm like excited at the same time. Because if I make the AA, it's a big achievement. Charlie's probably gonna be there again this year.
Yeah, you made it last year.
We're both.
You think you have what
year.
it takes to make it?
Well, they're mainly looking at pitching, so
Well, mainly they're looking at an all around. You have to have some
like,
good skills.
The main thing they're looking at is pitchings, but I think I have the chance.
Yeah.
I think I have the chance, because there's gonna be a lot of good players. There are second years. Well, I'm a second year.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to be confident because in
I'm
your
a second
second
year,
year,
yeah.
you're going to be one of the oldest kids there. So,
Ryu's joining our team this year.
well, if he doesn't
Is-
make double A, because he's going to the tryouts too.
Oh, he's on the double A? No.
He's trying out. No one has made it yet. Everybody tries out. So everybody goes, you understand what the tryouts are? So you go like indoors.
You
Remember,
go indoors.
they
Yeah,
make you
it's like,
catch, pitch.
I
They
think
they test you. They
we're
look at
going
you.
to that soccer thing. Like we're going to where I do my track.
Oh yeah, I think so. It's like an
Okay.
indoor like soccer thing,
Yeah, the indoor soccer place. Yeah.
and then they're gonna evaluate you, and then they're gonna make cuts every time. So every day they cut people.
It's only one tryout, or it's gonna be like
No, you have 3 or 4 days. So-
on the same week, or like separated weeks. Like
I think
one
it's
week this,
going
another
to.
week,
No,
and
I
then
think it's.
3 days.
If I
a week.
remember last year,
Last
it
year
was.
it was every Saturday.
No, it was one's 2. It was Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 weeks in a row. I think
Yeah.
something like that,
Something like that.
or 3 days in a row during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna keep working for the next 2 weeks as much as possible.
Gotta train hard.
That's right, and then at least give you even if you don't make the double A, at least it'll get you ready for the A's.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
At least.
Yeah, because I don't know. Season starts in a couple months, and you got to get ready.
Season starts in
May,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, month of my birthday.
it starts like right before your birthday.
So like the week of my birthday.
Yeah, I think a week or 2 before your birthday.
Last year I came home with a loss on my birthday, sadly.
Oh, it's okay. Hopefully this year will change.
Well,
You're gonna be 11 this year.
I'm probably gonna make the double A's. I think I have a good chance, so
Yeah, you confident?
I'm gonna make the double A's for sure, probably.
Oh, look at you.
Probably.
You gotta work
the best
hard.
chance. I have one of the best. All the second years have the best chance of getting into the double A.
Yeah, but
Like Charlie has the
there's
best.
a lot of good players.
Charlie has the best chance because
But he made it
went-
last year.
Yeah, he made it last year, so he knows what we're gonna do. So he knows that he's gonna do. So he knows that he goes there and gets better. So he has the best chance. And
He has one of the best chances, but you work hard and
I don't know why I keep looking at your board.
stop
But yeah,
looking there.
I think
You nervous?
no. I think Charlie has the best chance because like he was there last year. He got into the team last year, so he knows what he has to work on. So I think he has the best chance there, along with his teammates that were there.
Well, there's a lot
last
of the
year.
guys that were on the team that are moving on to
Pee-wee.
Pee Wee. So we'll see.
Yep.
We're gonna work hard and make sure we give ourselves the best possible chance to make the team.
Double A.
Right?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
That's it. How did you like this?
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
First time here. Fun.
First time here. You live in this house.
No, first time on the podcast.
Yeah. You enjoy it?
It's pretty fun.
If you had a podcast, what kind of podcast would you have?
Probably sports podcasts.
Wrestling podcast?
Yeah, I would talk about sports and wrestling.
Yeah.
Mostly. Maybe talk about my past, what's gonna happen next. I don't know.
Interesting.
Like, what do you talk about?
Depends.
Like, you just random?
Sometimes. Sometimes I talk about my struggles. Sometimes I talk about
You
how
talked about your struggles in the Cerrone and Cowboy one.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Transparent. Trying to be as honest as possible.
Transparent, honest.
So you enjoy this?
Yep. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. It's hard not to stare at the camera, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
All you want to do is look at it. It's all right. All right. You want to say bye to all the listeners?
How many listeners do you have?
Probably like 12. Not a lot.
Bye, listeners, because I don't know who you are. I'm one of them, so bye, 11 listeners, because I'm one
Or
of them.
maybe more. Who knows? Maybe with
know.
you on the podcast, I'll get
I'm just going to say...
hundreds of new
I'm
subscribers.
I'm just going to say bye, watchers. Bye, subscribers. Subscribe.
What's your TikTok handle? Give the people some TikTok.
Gonna tell anyone.
Why not? You do TikTok videos all the time. You're not gonna give it?
No, don't tell. Don't tell.
What? Are you embarrassed?
Yeah.
Why? You can't be embarrassed.
Okay, fine.
Go.
It's my name 563.
Caden Pauline 563.
No, Caden 563.
Caden 563. Caden 563 on TikTok.
Yeah, let me check.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Huh?
Hold on, I'm gonna go get my phone.
No, it's okay. I got it here.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Caden 563.
Yeah, I told you.
You have 33 followers. Let's try to bump that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Why is my daughter on TikTok?
Because she asked me to do some TikToks yesterday, so I did some TikToks with her.
Good job.
She asked me very nicely.
At Caden 563.
Yep.
And on Instagram.
No caps, no spaces. My full name, Caden Pauline. No caps, no spaces, no anything. Just my name. 68. I believe I have almost 100 followers on that account. I'm not sure. I think I have 100.
You gotta do the.
I'm close to 100 followers on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on my podcast. I appreciate it. It was a good talk.
Yep.
Enjoyed it.
How long did we talk for?
For 42 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's my record.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for everybody for listening to this Savage Life. Hope you enjoyed this episode with my son, Caden. Subscribe now if you haven't done so. And if you have done so, I appreciate it and I thank you very much. If you haven't done so as well, please give it a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Help me out a little bit. Check me out on Instagram at Savage Paulson. Also on Twitter, I changed my handle. It's at Savage Paulson. Same thing, but the O in Paulson is a 0. So check that out.
Ooh,
Once again, thanks a lot for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Much love, everybody.
Bye.